Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, she's had a successful business for 23 years and never thought about running for office. Well, now she's thrown her hat into the ring for Texas State House. You'll meet Aimee Ramsey next.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, one of the things that has happened in the last few years is you don't need to have any political experience at all to get elected. And so you see a lot of people coming out of the woodwork, especially the people who are not happy with the way the country is going, and throwing their hat into the ring. And my next guest knows a lot about that because that's exactly what she's doing. Aimee Ramsey is in the studio. She's running for Texas State House District 114. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Well, I want the audience to know a little bit about you. You've had a successful limo business for some 23 years.
Yes, sir.
All right. Tell us more about that.
Limo and party bus rental service here in Dallas, Texas. Raised my children on that business and get pretty good reviews on it. You know, job creator, team developer, and you know, those skills, problem solving. It is a 24/7 business, so I have been known to solve a few problems here and there.
Sure. And you were very content running the business, still running the business, but then something happened. Why did you decide to run for Texas State House?
Well, honestly, nobody else was. I was looking into my candidates and who was running for me, or for me to vote for, and there wasn't anyone running. You know, we say our vote matters, get out the vote, send everybody to the polls, but when we get to the polls, there's no one to vote for. And 76% of the Dallas County races are unopposed this actually up and coming election. So people just win by default. And it's the same people that represent us, that have represented us, and will continue to represent us if we don't start standing up and speaking for ourselves and making the difference. You know, it's the definition of insanity. Continue to do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. These people have been running Dallas, they've been running Texas, and it's time for a change. So I thought it was time for me to stand up, and I urge everyone else to as well.
Outstanding. We're going to put your website up, and as we scroll down the website, I want to talk about some of the issues that you're most passionate about. You and I were talking before the show about immigration and the disaster at the border. So is that one of the reasons why you're running?
Absolutely. The border is creating a bigger issue than just the safety of the people coming over and the safety of the people here. It is all about safety and security, but it is also, it's affecting our economy, it's affecting our homeless, it's affecting our crime rate, it's affecting just, you know, even the small town securities. When we pull our state troopers off of their post to send them to the border, there's no one manning their post. So even small towns are really hurting because of the border. So the border is a very big issue.
And it seems like every day there's another kind of change. The courts are ruling this, and suddenly, you know, you can cut the razor wire, or you can't cut the razor wire. And it feels like Governor Abbott has his hands full with, you know, fighting Washington, fighting some of the liberal mayors around the country who are now screaming foul. Do you applaud the job that Governor Abbott's doing?
He does. He does have his hands full, and it's going to be a tough battle to, you know, to get this fixed. But the legislators, it's in their hands. It's in the governor's hands, and we need strong legislators that are willing to write bills and willing to stand up for the Texas Constitution and use the laws we already have in place to keep us safe and to allow our economy to grow within Texas.
Sure. I looked at the About page on your website, and we're going to pull that up because I want people to really get to know you. You're a single mom. And that's, I mean, it's not easy to, juggle being a great mom and running a business, but now we're throwing in a campaign on top of that. How are you able to do it all?
Well, the top picture is my babies. Those are my children. They are adults now. They have blessed me with 5 beautiful grand boys. So, they have their hands full now with small babies. I don't anymore. So, and being a single mom, I was always the one that had to take care of the problem. When something needed to be fixed, I just needed to get it done. And when something was broken and I saw that it needed to be done, I stepped in and got it done. And I feel now it's the same thing. I'm looking at a system that's broken. I'm looking at something we allowed them to break. And I feel like personally, I need to step in and help fix this problem.
Sure. And we're going to pull up the district map of 114 because it's a big district and it's spread out all over the place. And one of the things that you and I were talking about before the show is that this district was carved out by Republicans to be a Democratic district. That's why nobody was running until you announced. It's an uphill battle for you, isn't it?
Absolutely, yes. But I believe that Americans, us, we the people, not politicians, us, the people who have to live these lives every day, I feel like we have a lot more in common than just an R or a D behind our name. And I think that if we stand strong and we stand together, I think that we can actually send somebody to Austin to represent us, the people. And I'm willing to put my name in that hat to do that for all of us.
Absolutely. Well, so you have been knocking on doors, which I appreciate because I think a lot of people who run these days try to do it by postcards or emails or TikTok videos. And there's something about actually looking the voter in the eye. Talk about your experience with the voters that you're talking to. What are their major concerns?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's kind of funny because, again, I'm not a politician, so I am knocking on doors just to introduce myself. And, people are looking, they're surprised to see me. They're like, nobody's ever knocked on our door, and especially not the actual candidate. So if you do have someone knocking on your door, it's a representative of the candidate. And I'm knocking on people's doors, introducing myself, and I want them to know that I want to take their ideas, their suggestions to Austin. As a business owner, that's what I did in my own business actually, is I took all of my employees' ideas and suggestions and I put them all together, made a plan, and then we implemented the best plan of action for whatever situation it was we were trying to fix. And I really feel that that's something that we're missing. Our founding fathers, none of them were career politicians. They were all business owners, they were farmers, they were teachers. And I feel like it needs to get back to that. It needs to get back to us because we're the ones that have to live this every single day.
Sure. Let's talk about crime because I think that affects everybody. And we've seen in some of the more progressive cities around the country where there's just looting out in the open. How do you feel like we're doing in Texas on crime?
It's not a feeling. You can look around. You can walk around the streets of downtown Dallas. Downtown Dallas is in my district. And you can see that there's something going on. And you can look at the numbers. The statistics don't lie. The murder rate is up in Dallas. And, you can't have low crime rates when your murder rate is up higher than anyone else. Something Dallas did is they created a community court. And this court handled a lot of these small crimes, the homeless crimes, the stealing to survive crimes. And that is where our catch and release system is currently taking place. So a lot of these small crimes are being let out, but some of them aren't so petty. Actually, I do know of one instance where someone was actually stabbed and hospitalized, and that person was let back out on the streets, homeless. So, some of these crimes are being overlooked and they should not be. And so it's causing a huge issue on our streets, homelessness and crime, the drug usage, all of it together. It's just the mental issue, mental illness with the homeless and the drugs and the crime. I believe it's a really huge problem that we need to get a grasp on.
Absolutely. Tell everybody how they can get involved. We're going to show the website in a minute, but clearly you probably need donations. Do you need volunteers? Do you need help?
Absolutely. So I have thrown my name in the hat to represent us in Austin, and I'm asking you please to stand up and help me. Any smart person has smarter people standing behind them and supporting them. And yes, I need volunteers. I need donations. Anything you can donate. Nothing is too small and nothing is too large. I'll take the big ones too. There is no cap in mine because it is a state race. So you can donate as much as you want or as little as you want. All of it is appreciated, and all of it will be well spent on the campaign trying to make a difference for Dallas in Austin.
Outstanding. Thanks so much for coming on the show. We're going to end with the website, which is ramseyforhouse.com. Thank you so much, Aimee Ramsey. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
You bet. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.